Every year, there has been a spring followed by a summer. And every summer has been followed by an autumn. And every autumn is followed by a winter. Those are the seasons, and they don't change. What you can't do is say, you know what, 3 springs, a couple of autumns, but I don't want any winters. You can't have that. That's not the way life works. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of your 5-Minute Friday. I'm your host, Dr. Glenn Krieger, and today I'm going to share something personal with you. Not for sympathy's sake, you'll understand why when I tell it to you. Recently, I was competing at the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu Master Worlds Tournament in Vegas, and I lost. I didn't realize it at the time, but I competed the last 2.5 minutes of the tournament and subsequent 2 weeks of training with a torn ACL, a fractured tibial head, and a torn meniscus. Didn't know, it hurt, but you move on, you keep going, right? And again, I don't want you to say, oh, I'm so sorry, oh my God, Glenn, I can't believe it. That's not the story here. The point is, when my wife said it to me, I explained to her, this was an assumed risk. I took on jiu-jitsu, it's any sport, and anybody out there who's ever done athletics knows, if you play sports, there is risk of injury. Turn on your TV at any point, on any day, and there's a baseball player, a football player, a hockey, somebody who's going for surgery for something. Thank God we live in a life where we can go get surgery done, rehab it, and be almost good as new. And that's the approach I take in life, right? It's not a big deal, right? Things could have been so much worse. Will I be fine? Yes. Can I function my life day to day? Yes. Does it hurt? Yes. But that's okay because I chose this path. But the reason I'm telling you all of this is for this. If you're a fan of Jim Rohn, now Jim Rohn is one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time. He has this amazing lesson about seasons. And seasons apply to everybody in this world, whether you do jiu-jitsu, whether you play an instrument, whether you are running a practice, whether you're a parent, not a parent, spouse, significant other. We all have journeys in our lives that have ups and downs. And Jim Rohn says it better than I'll ever do it, but he talks about seasons, right? He talks about the fact that, and I'm not going to do my Jim Rohn impersonation because if I do, it's terrible, but you'll get the point here. Every year since the beginning of man, there has been a spring followed by a summer. And every summer has been followed by an autumn. And every autumn is followed by a winter. Those are the seasons, and they don't change. What you can't do is say, you know what, I want to have 4 summers, 3 springs, a couple of autumns, but I don't want any winters. You can't have that. That's not the way life works, right? And the reason I told you about my knee is because if you take a reasonable approach to it, the understanding is, I love jiu-jitsu. It is a hobby of mine, right? I've been doing it literally 5 to 6 days a week for the last several years. I love competing. I love training. I love the physical activity of it. I love the combat aspect of it. I like the will bending of it, right? Where you can bend someone's will to what you want. It's a beautiful, beautiful sport that you will never, ever master. But here's the thing. Injury is part of it. And I can't say, you know, on my jiu-jitsu journey, I'm going to choose to have only victories and win gold. I don't want any silvers or bronze. And of course, I'm going to leave out the injuries. It's not the way it works, right? You can't choose it. You can't pick and choose what parts of your journey you can leave and take. It doesn't work like that, okay? It's not like a diet. I'm going to say no to all the pizza, but I'm going to say yes to all the fish. It doesn't work like that. And whether you're a parent, as I said earlier, if you're a parent, you can't say, you know, I'm going to have 3 kids, but I'm going to leave out all the bad stuff that happens at school, all the midnight waking up, all the poopy diapers. You can't. You got to take it. And life is no different when it comes to running a practice, right? Running a practice is not for the faint of heart, nor is being an associate, right? Here's a little spoiler alert. You can't go into life and have a job and have it be golden all the time. You need to take the good with the bad. And my point in all of this is, you know much of this already, but you need to accept it. You need to accept the fact that when you have a day where you're trying to make production goals for the month and 3 patients, you just need 2 starts for the day, you get 6 patients on the day and it snows and everybody cancels or the office is closed. It's part of life, brother or sister. It's part of life. Take it and run with it. Instead of lamenting, oh my God, this was horrible, I can't believe this occurred. You know, the universe has it out for me, which is a woe is me, Eeyore-esque sort of approach that will not serve you well long term. You can say, hey, you know what? We were 2 starts short of a goal. Let's start making some phone calls. Let's do our pending list. Let's do what we can. Let's be proactive. Let's accept the fact that bad things happen in life, and hopefully in your life, the bad things that happen that are truly bad, like really, really bad stuff, are very, very rare. And the key for you is to differentiate between the really, really bad stuff that just simply can't be fixed or is a nightmare to deal with, right? FBI breaks down your door and comes into your office looking for records. That's a really, really bad day. But even there, let my attorney take care of it. Let my CPA take care of it. Sure, as they haul you away in handcuffs, God forbid, right? That's a pretty bad day. But there's an old saying by captains, and I've mentioned this before. I've been fortunate enough to listen to the late, great Captain Denny Finch. If you ever go watch the Sioux City, Iowa crash where the plane cartwheeled into the cornfield, but people lived because of the heroics of the captain that day. Denny Finch was one of the captains, and he tells the story that attitude affects altitude. Now, attitude is a term for aviation. It's kind of a double entendre. It's a joke, right? Because aviation, attitude is how the plane is, the situation of the plane. So attitude affects altitude. But he meant it also to say that your attitude in the cockpit during a very difficult event will affect how long you're going to stay in the air. And at the end of the day, life or death. Take the same approach to your life. Attitude affects altitude. It is remarkably difficult to get me down, but that's how I'm wired. My therapist, by the way, I go see a therapist. Why? Because go to a therapist even when things are great, especially when things are great, to keep your life going well, so you learn to have the coping skills. But they tell me I'm built in such a way that they've never really seen it before, that when bad things happen, I immediately go into, okay, I accept it, I understand it, now let's fix it. Or let's accept it and move on, or try to deal with it in our lives. And some people are not built that way, and I respect that. But if you take a positive attitude into this, if you understand that there will always be summer, there will always be winter, things are always going to get worse than they are now when they're great, and things are always going to get better when they're bad. Take that attitude with you and know you're not alone. Know that at the very least you can always message me, and I'm always here to help you in any way I can. But remember, when problems occur in your life, you can't affect what happens to you, but you can change the way you react to it. And there's an old saying that I learned from Douglas Shaw's wife, Rachel. She's an amazing woman. She said to me, find out before you freak out. It's a great line. I tell it to my patients. I use it all the time. Find out before you freak out, right? If you think something bad is going to happen, find out what's really going to happen before you start freaking out about it. And I promise you, long term, if you do that, great things will happen. Take a positive attitude whenever you can. Fake it till you make it. Find out before you freak out. And remember, winters are going to come. You can't give them up. But the summers and the springs and those beautiful autumn days, they make winter worth it every time. So enjoy the spring, enjoy the summer, enjoy the autumn, and suffer through the winter if you have to, or at least go outside, make some snowballs, and enjoy the winter the best you can. But know they will always be there. That's why I told you about my knee. It happens. I'm going to accept it. I'll rehab after surgery. I'll come back stronger. And the next time I step on that podium and get a gold medal in my hand, it'll be that much sweeter. Much love to each and every one of you. Hope to see you at the Ortho Vanguard. It's a very small one. It may be sold out by now. I'm not sure. And certainly, if you want to learn more about the coaching program I'm going to launch at the end of 25, just DM me. Much love and have a great day, everybody.